next question is about relationship in terms of when you have something good. Say we've checked most of the boxes, aside the whole tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah.
You know, you've had communication with this person, you've checked his family values, and you see that to a very large extent, the both of you understand yourself. You have something good going on, but there is a but. He has a baggage from a past relationship, maybe hasn't healed, or maybe there are also some peculiar things about those past relationship, even as from a guy's perspective too.
Yeah.
Maybe the lady that he's also meeting, something about her.
Yeah,
So as what would you advise me to do? Should I leave that relationship because of this baggage, or should I endure and pray that God would change this person?
All right. What I would say is, number one, it takes one to marry one. Half cannot marry half.
Mm.
You must be whole to marry another person. Marriage is adulthood. Adulthood, you need to be whole to be an adult.
Mm.
You can't be a child. The first problem most people have is that they are not whole first.
Oh.
For you to be mature to get married, you must be whole.
Mm.
If you have a baggage from a past relationship, it means that you are not fully whole.
Mm.
For example, I want to go and play football. I still have a leg injury.
Ha.
And I'm supposed to be either the defender. And I'm not totally fit. In football, they will say that person is not ready, is not fit to come in. You put somebody else there.
Yes.
No matter how good you are, you are not up to one. You may be the best footballer in the world, but you are not total yet. And if you are playing a vital role, let's say you are a defender or a striker or this one, yes, if it's something that we can manage you, I agree, but you cannot give all your best in this assignment you want to get involved in. You can give your best. Now, what you need is to go and heal. Go and heal and come back when you are healed. The problem with people that are not fully healed or have a baggage is that they are not whole. They are still colored in their perspective. And whatever the case may be, they will bring it to your marriage, and you will collect where you are not supposed to collect. You will have reactions, you have actions and reactions that is not for you. So, if an ex, if you have a baggage from a previous relationship, go and heal first. That is when you are ready for a relationship. If you are not fully healed, and this one, when people say healing, this is healing. If I mention that person, you think another person. If pain still comes, you are not healed.
Wow.
If you have an injury in your leg or you're seeing somewhere, if I put hand on it and it still keeps pain, it's not healed, it still hurts. When you hear that person's name and you are still flaring up, you are not healed. Go and heal.
Wow.
When you finish healing, then you are ready to enter another relationship. It's too difficult to put your destiny in the hand of somebody that an external stimulus can still affect his reaction.
Sure.
And the problem is you know that this thing is still major in the person's life. It's still very major here. So that person should go and heal up first and go and get over it before you can now come and say you want to start up with another relationship and get something.
Something in line with that is I've had friends that had baggage in previous relationships, or are even in the process of a breakup and something. And just because you were a listening ear during that period, they automatically form emotions for this person. So to an extent, I want to ask, is it risky to help someone through their journey of healing, and should them heal? Should you that helped them heal also stay in that relationship? Because I feel because you know a bit of their past too, or maybe because can we say that feeling actually is genuine? Maybe the person just transferred
the emotions from
yes.
The problem when it comes to healing and getting out of that kind of situation is that this is very interesting. When anybody is healing and hurting, you need somebody to lean on. Don't confuse the leaning on of somebody that wants to get out of his space to love.
Okay.
Both of them have emotions involved, but the genuineness of that emotion You are not sure if the genuineness is just, if it's just a hot, a entanglement that comes from a heart, or entanglement that comes like is genuine out of I really love something about it. Some people love people. It's not they don't love them, they just pity them. No, because what you have gone
Pity.
through, sorry. If you are pitying the person, you are not genuine. You are not interested in the person's life and the person's future. The reason why you feeling you are catching is a pity generated feeling. And that's where the problem lies. A lot of people that started relationship out of pity, sooner than later after you get there, if the pity is not longer there, you need some element of pity to keep that relationship going. So if the pity is not involved, you realize that at the point in there's nothing motivating or driving the relationship any longer. Then you drop the relationship and move into something else. So when you meet somebody, yes, is it bad to help somebody? No, it's not bad to help somebody there. But guide your emotions. You are helping the person. You are not catch yourself from catching feeling. Okay, let me put it like this. Be sure that the feeling you are catching is not because of pity. It's genuinely because you really love the person. Pity and love are not the same thing. Oh, because the way they treated her is not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. You know that men like women, people like that they are defender of the universe. You enter because of defending the person. What they did is not right. And I like her. And I like her. She's a nice person. That is not. You are not a good judge of what the person. And that is just pity. So the day the person starts being weak and vulnerable, you now start feeling like you have lost somebody. Because you got into relations because the person was weak and vulnerable. The day the person starts being weak and vulnerable, something is missing in the chemistry of the relationship. So go and heal. The person should go and heal out first, then come in and let us start afresh with one another. And let me say this: there are also people that prey on people because of their vulnerability. They come to you vulnerable, but they are manipulative, or you don't know them. You don't know them until they are not vulnerable. The day they stop being vulnerable, that's when you know they are the real picture. This is who they are. For the person's good, don't get in relation with somebody that is a vulnerability that brought it there. Let the person be whole, let the person be normal. When the footballer is completely, and that's why I use the analogy of footballer, when you are fully healed, you come there, you can do everything. Let the person be able to do everything, not the person coming in and he's limping one leg, it's because of this leg, it's because of my injury, it's because I'm injured. For how long in a journey of a lifetime, an adventure of a lifetime, your injury becomes a reason for you to overlook the things that I'm doing or the things I'm going through? That's manipulation at the end of the day.
Wow. So on both the side of a person that is helping somebody to heal, and the person that is also in the process of their own healing. So both parties should be aware of how they put their emotions into the whole.
That's why I said that before you be sure of it before you release your emotions into something. Guard your emotions. Guard it. Make sure that you see everything fully. I've seen everything. Both seeing it physically and seeing it also for a believer spiritually. That is when then you now can start releasing your emotions into it. Because when your emotions get involved, it's difficult to pull out.
Thank you, sir. So this brings me to a related question, and that's where the conversation of past comes to play. So I have a number of friends that believe that when you're going into a new relationship, any conversation about your past relationship or anything that has happened in the past should not be a conversation in this current relationship. But I'm also of the school of thought that when you're coming into a relationship, some past should be discussed. So can you give a light on, should the past reflect in the present? And if it should reflect in the present, what kind of details should be discussed?
Okay, so when it comes to your past, let me say this very clearly. First of all, should you tell the person your past? Number one, at what point should you say it?
Yes, at what point too?
What should you say?
Yes.
Number one, don't say anything if there's no level of commitment yet. Okay. I won't say don't say anything. Don't say, be careful at what you say if commitment is not sure. It's not established. You don't meet somebody that you're still on talking stage and you're telling about everything about your life. You are still on talking stage. You can't be doing parrots, saying everything about your life. There are things you tell people at different levels. That are authorization should give people the more commitment they have.
Yes.
For example, in an organization, that authorization should have the higher you grow in the organization. Also in your life, you are an organization. That authorizations people should have, the more committed they are to you. There are things you don't, there is no business talking to somebody about that is too personal for you if the person is not a stakeholder in your life. That's the first thing I will say. Number two is, so the first one is commitment based on authorization based on commitment person's life. The second one is also the things you tell people relates on the level of maturity of the individual. How matured is the person to handle the information? Even when we are talking about commitment, don't know about the maturity of the person. Also, maturity and commitment could go hand in hand, but also maturity matters. Is person matured enough to handle the kind of information or not? Now, but let me say this. I will speak on two ends. The other side to it is, I feel that before getting to a relation, and that's also why I tell people this: be careful of your past because of your future. We need to say the truth about it. If you before you take decisions, ask yourself, if I need to tell somebody about this in future, am I confident with my full chest? Am I confident that I will get into this thing with my full chest?
True.
Because sometimes we are not get scared about talking about some things because of the errors of our past. Think about it before you
do it.
I'll tell you a story. This one I followed it. When I did this, I called my children and told them to sit down. There is a present serving Supreme Court judge in the US. He's an only child. His name is Kavanaugh or something. Go and Google it. He's an only child. The mom was a judge. I'm not sure the mom was a judge, but his mom was a judge. They raised the guy up that one day he's going to be a Supreme Court judge. When they were doing this hearing, was about some years ago, when doing his hearing, everybody became political because he's a conservative, he's a Republican. Then he's a Democrat. The Republicans were bombarding him. Somebody from somewhere just rose up that when he was a teenager, he didn't rape him, that he abused him, and she's still traumatized by the abuse from when she was a teenager. Now, this was a internationally broadcasted investigation. I watched it. I called my children and said, sit down, watch this. Why? Because, and the lady said, I don't remember where it was. I don't remember. They were not staying in the same area. They didn't go to the same schools. But the only thing they had was that they said there was an holiday, there was a party, both of them were there, and they abused her, and they had traumatized her for over 40 years. You know what saved the guy? One thing saved the guy. The guy kept a diary, a calendar of his activities during his holiday. And he brought that calendar out. This was my calendar the other day. There was no record or no mention of anything about a party for the date that she was not sure was the date of the party. There was no even party in that holiday. That was what saved the guy. The guy is a Supreme Court judge now. So before I go into what you should do after the thing has happened, before you do it, watch what the issue is. Beg. Know that you are not really in the present. Your present will be recounted in your future. So what you are not with your full chest be able to say you will be did in your future, please avoid it in your present, so that to avoid stories that touch in your future. That's the first thing I would say. So the second one after that will be, so if it has happened, there's nothing we can do about it has happened. I've talked about connection, I've talked about maturity. If the person is not mature, they're not going to say it. So people ask questions like this. So ask questions like, should you tell the person, if you have slept, your body count, should you let the person know what your body count is? And I think about it from two different perspectives. If I don't have a count, I don't have a count. But if I have a count, how much do you want to say? If the person matured enough to hear the count. A school of thought will say it. If you marry, you marry. But another school of thought will say, if he's not matured enough and you tell him all, it might spiral the relationship and make it go better, and it can use it against you. What will I say? Maturity. What are you comfortable with? I will say number one, is it committed? Number two, maturity. Number three, what are you comfortable about saying? You may not say it, but you see, this life is a very funny one. Your counts or the people that know your history, you might meet them in future and they might see here. Now, do I feel that even the guy now, if you now get to know about his future, is he good enough to take it against the guy? I don't believe that should be the only reason for you to take either for against the person. I don't feel that should be the reason enough to take it. I believe that you should be matured enough. It brings us back to maturity, to be enough to be able to understand what really matters. This is somebody's past. This is not his present and not his person's future. But that is why the most important thing you should build is build trust. And if you feel that in building trust, I should say all. If you feel so, then say it. If it's matured enough to handle the ground with it. If you don't feel that you should not. But there are things that are important. The one that I feel that are important about past. You had a child before. Say it. That one is consequential. That one has evidence.
Evidence,
there's
plenty.
Evidential. It's tangible evidence. This one is there. I had a cousin dated a guy, a lady, and the day they did the introduction, the lady called him and said, I want to tell you something. I was scared about telling you about it. I want to tell you that. So that boy that you see in our house, I suppose our last one. It's not our last one, my child. The guy said, that day the guy broke up the relationship. The girl begged and said everything. And the guy said, I'm not breaking up the relationship because if you had told me before we got to this point, I would have married. But the problem is that at this point, with you telling me about it, I'm asking myself, what else should you have told me that you did not tell me?
What is she possibly hiding?
Why are you hiding? So I said you are putting me at a point that I'm already second guessing myself that I'm not sure she's telling everything. I'm not sure. So for the guy, it has become a pattern. So I'm like, I'm not trusting. It's a trust thing. So something that is there is a tangible evidence to it. You should say the tangible evidence. Say the tangible evidence. Say it all. If you have to say it. But say when the person is committed enough, is matured enough to take it. So it's the evidence, say it. But something that you feel like, well, may not be a tangible evidence, and you feel like, okay, it should not. It depends on the issue. I've had to talk to a lot of females and guys, and some of them will feel like, okay, let me give you a good example now. I've done abortion before. It's not evidence. I've done abortion before. And I don't want to say. But the problem is this. You might say you don't want to say because of there's no evidence involved. But you can have issues in future.
Yeah.
That maybe you can have a child.
Yeah.
Then the guy now asks that he actually, or maybe it's a medical report that as your wife told you that she's not had abortion before, I said no. Oh, that becomes a different thing entirely. So I wouldn't say personally. I will say be naked. Personally. But I also know that some people that you cannot be naked to them because they are not matured enough to handle it yet. So maturity is needed. But the other side is people will say is that why do you marry somebody that you don't feel is matured enough to handle it? So the person should be matured enough to go to handle it. You want to tell him, if I'm going to marry you, you'll be matured enough for me to marry you.
Maturity is important.
Maturity is important.
Then from the examples you've given, it means it is essential you give your potential spouse, the option to make a choice or to make a decision.
So that you not look as if I'm using myself to beg the person. I'll be free. There's a feeling you have in a marriage that you are important, you are sought after, you are chased, you are liked, you are loved.
Holy.
You are holy. It's not that there's something that is something. No, there's a feeling you have that I matter. But when you start feeling like I do not matter, it becomes a problem. So you see, in that kind of a case, one of the things that when I say this, a lot of ladies have this. You can't tell him no look. I can't tell him no look.
Yes, I
But
have
when it
friends
comes to
like
when it
that.
comes to body count, I
Yeah.
can't say oh look. If it's 15, how can we say it's 15? In as much as I agree to that, you see, the day may God may not make us shamed. You can be shocked, and the problem with boys is that boys talk.
Yeah. Oh, they talk a lot.
Boys talk.
Yes.
You see, what a lot of ladies do not understand is that getting a lady to bed, to boys, to some boys,
Boys.
is achievement. It's like medals. When I was in secondary school, boys used to come to church, to school, and brag about the number of girlfriends they have. And we should do competition and say, I have 15 boyfriends, and they were counting the day. I have 5. I know. Okay, no one. I'll give you 2. Give you 1. I'll give you 3. That's boys. And you see, and they will pass they will passing girls among themselves.
Wow.
Because boys by nature we are hunters. The male gender we are hunters. So that's why it's good to start from the point of don't get involved. Also now that you're involved, commitment, maturity, then also you are building trust. Those 3 things are important. But I would say maturity is, for some people, you might not be able to go. Sometimes staying at maturity is good. For some people, you might not be able to go all the way to saying all.
Yeah.
But at least maturity enough to know that. Okay, let me now say this last one. So there is a way on how you now say it. There's a way of saying, I've had a not too very colorful past. Some of which I do not want to remember. But I'm not a virgin. My past has been colorful. You want us to go from here? No. You have not said the number. We have let the person know that there are a lot of colors behind the number.
Rainbow.
Yeah, so there are many colors. So color is plenty.
Yeah.
So if you understand that color is plenty, you didn't tell him the number, but you told him that it is colorful. So the day anything comes up, I told you it was colorful. I didn't tell you. Now, that one is an element of trust. You have played it. You may not have been confident enough to tell him the number. Because I also feel sometimes, at some level, if you look at your past, it looks shameful. You don't want to talk about the number. But please, paint a picture that the person will know that at least you tried. I think that goes a long way.
Thank you, sir. So there needs to be trust.
There needs to be trust. So you might not be built trust by telling number, but you can build trust by painting a color. Yeah. Saying it maturely.
Yeah.
Because some people say that no, that means I should them. No, I didn't say everything to say that you should say number, you should say that. But say it maturely enough, the person gets the picture without telling him. If you don't feel comfortable about telling but say maturely, the person gets the picture. It's been colorful. I was adventurous, but I am changed now. Yeah. So if the person likes you, you can take your adventurous. It's maturity.
Yeah.
If you cannot take your adventurous, it's maturity.
Yes. So he has a choice to either
stay
to or to go, and it will be safer. Because if in the long run this person gets to find out and can't stay, and you set yourself up for disaster.
So at least by your trust, you have cleared your conscience by not being foolish enough to now mention and I tell them, is it 1, is it 2, is it 3, is it 4? You didn't say that one. You just say it's colorful. I've been adventurous.
That saves a whole lot.
That saves it.
Yes.
Makes the ground clear.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.